Hi, this is Bill Tainter, and I'm looking at this Great Britain US dollar, and what I did is I came into the office and I saw this red retest. Here's what it looks like. It's 56.30. Look how it came up, it struggled, it broke back down through, came up a little bit, was right back up there, so I sold it again. There's no news. It's been up like 15 pips here recently. And I'm just going to try to take profits off here, and so I'll come back, but I just want to maybe do a little step-by-step of a video as you can see it unfold versus an end of the day recap. So I'll come back and check on this trade in a little bit, but this is what I saw when I entered. There's no news and it's retesting a red, and let's see if we can get some pips. Also, I'll show you, I'm watching a euro. Okay, so here in the euro, same thing. Do you see how it's at a red, heads up, plunges? Look at this, amazing, 34.22. Look at this retest of resist, breaks, bounces, can't bounce past halfway. See that? Fails at 50%, plunges, retest once, twice, three times, plunges, and I've got a sell parked there, so we'll see what it does. We'll see if we can get this down to this next grid. I'll keep watching it. I'll be back. Okay, I was moving my lines around. It just touched me in here, so I took profit 1 at 11, and so that's fine. I'll take that. And then move me to break even, so I can't lose. I'm a little bit nervous because this is the fourth. You know, it did once, did it twice, did it 3 times, and then it went deep, and it's all the way back up there. So I'm a little, I'm kind of watching this 50% mark. Watch, because if we draw fibs at 50%, just took profit 2. Look at, if you go from the bottom of this to the bottom of this, look at that. There's 50%. It's got to get past here, and that's exactly where it's struggling, is at 50%. See that? So I'll put a little box there, and we'll see if we can. Again, to build my account for the month until I hit 200 pips, I have no problem taking profit 1 and 2 right away. And so if I get 11, let me run my script here. Okay, yeah, 11 and 12 basically. See that? So I'll come back. Okay, so you can see it pushed nicely right on through this midpoint, and it's back down to this next level. Let me check what it is. Yeah, so these are 2 black levels. I just put this black line in here just to, if the screen is scrunched up, that we know it's a black. It's not really not one of my black lines like that I draw. Look at this, to the pip it went down to the bottom of that. Wow. Okay, so great, we're up 20 pips, and again, since I'm just short, I'm about 175 pips right now in 3 days. So what I'm going to do is trail this tight with a stop. I'm going to give this a little bit of room here and just watch it closely, and watch parallel and inverse pairs. So look at the euro, broke down nicely, and I'll come back and see. So this is a red, but it's awful far away. I think I'm going to just cancel this guy. I don't think I would take a bounce. I mean, it's possible it could loop back up here through to the London close, like right back here, but so I don't forget about it, I'm going to cancel it right now just to get rid of it. And since it's kind of initially broken down, so you take that, I double click the line of the order, I just hit delete, pops, I say okay, this profit has points. Okay, so we're up 15 pips. It's a fractional broker, so it's 154 is not 154, it's 15.4 pips actually. Alright, so we're at a session open, and we'll see what happens here as this moves through. You see it. Wow. Look at that. So just connecting these 2 highs, stopped there and lined up with the red, bounced off of it. is you connect these two highs. It broke through, stopped, but then plunged. And then you take these two, let's see what it does here. Okay, I'll be back. So as you see, the entire world is trading this, because look at how this came up, did a retest, we got in and pretty much went profitable almost immediately, and now we're up 30 pips and it's pushing hard. I'm also watching the euro right here. This is a huge level across 2 days. I'm waiting for this to break and do a retest to follow down this large sucking sound that you hear is the euro trying to get pulled down to this red. So we'll keep watching, but it's a good day to be short on the pound. Look at that. So we'll see if we can get it to now bounce off this black, stay below here. Again, no news, so we should be good. Stand by. Okay, so now this is pushing off hard. So you see how this has gone down, broke up, so it didn't make new lows. US session's open, and I'm just wondering how much of this US session is going to try to retest this if I stay out of the way. Look at this thing just pounding up to stop me out, and it was up like 30 pips. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Again, I'm trying to hit my goal, so I'm not going to move it out of the way until that happens, so I'm just going to wait. And stay out of the way here. Okay, so that took me out, and I got 11, 12, and 1. So I'll note that in my sheet. Fine, another winning trade, no problems, no worries. And now I'm going to wait and watch for a break and a retest, because the euro is at a big support level. So this could bounce and head up. The Swissie's at a big resistance level that could bounce and go down. And this may break above this red and do a retest. So I'm going to get ready by pulling this down to here, and get my take profit lines ready. And watch for a break and a retest. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, 56.30 to 51, so there's 20 pips. Okay, perfect. So it's not too far away, but I'm going to get in at 56.35 because I have to allow for some spread. There. So that's where I have my line. I'll have my stop past the halfway, out of the way at the bottom. And let's just see what happens here. I'll come back. Wow, talk about rejection. Look at that. Immediately it just slammed back 12, 15 pips here. It just keeps retesting this thing. This is quite the chop zone. And we have a little change of events here at 7:30. Look at that. Exploded. Exploded. Wow. I mean, in a blink of an eye, that thing just popped. Okay, so let's see if we did the right thing there. See, this to me is hanging too close that there's a high probability of break. So I'm looking in the next 7 minutes this to get up here and close. And when this closes above here, I'm just going to say select it, move to buy, and I'm going to slam this park a buy right here. It's going to come back and retouch this red cluster, and we're in. So it's 7:38 Central Time right now. That's what I'm watching and seeing here. The Swissy is bouncing down off of a resistance level, and the euro is bounced up off a major 2-day support level. So I'm watching these 2-3 different pairs and how they work. See, there's a big resistance from yesterday. See how the Swissy bounced off, and the euro is at a major support, and it popped off of there hard. So that's what I'm watching. Okay, so here's what's going on. just do a quick recap for you. Look at this. We did a sell here, and okay, so we pulled some pips here, and you know, my most success comes from a punch counter punch approach. That means I wait for the market to do something, then I react. Now, see, so here it bounced, and when it did a retest, I didn't mind that, so I did it, and I had some success. But then when it comes back up here again, then it gets a little bit confusing. It's a little bit more of a risky trade for me. So I didn't do anything. I'm flat right now. I'm not in anything. I had a successful trade. I'm doing good. Now I'm looking at this euro, and it broke below. This black line is a big 2-day support. There is a cluster. It did break below and all this, but why I'm a little bit cautious is this big move down. I'm just a little bit nervous about that. It's got to stop somewhere. So to me, I don't like getting in at the end of a trend. I like the start of a trend. So like here, this is a great trade, right? Where it tries to go up, can't make new highs, comes down, and then see, so right here is resist breaks, bounces, fails, breaks below and retest. There's my entry. That is a rising trend, just broke. This is where I want to get in personally. Now this is just me. You can trade any way you want, you know that. Me, I'm in right there. Okay, and I love it, and I have consistent success doing that. Okay, so when it see this down here, it makes me nervous. I don't hit every trade. Now there's a red cluster down here, and it could bounce off the red. It's late in the day. I'm not too fired up about playing a bounce off there. If I did, it would be a scalp, you know, right there, 33.28. Okay, then the Swissy. Now the Swissy's at a huge level, and it's struggling, and I was waiting for a break and a retest. Again, I don't like playing a bounce. To me is I'm doing the punch. I'm waiting for a counter punch. I'm waiting for it to break and then do a retest, or break, fail, and then I'll sell it. And I'm not seeing that on the Swissy. I'm not seeing that on the pound, and I'm not seeing that on the euro. Now, doesn't mean this isn't going to free fall. It's just not my best trade. Now, it's just not my best setup. So I'm watching this. This is a big support level. Let me show you where I draw that line. Look at this from yesterday. Support breaks below, breaks above, support, comes along, and now it's struggling at the support. Well, now it just broke below. Well, ideally I like a 15 to 20 pip break, and then I'm looking for a doji. So because it had this long run, I'm a little bit nervous this is going to chop at the end of a trend. I'm not doing it. So that's quick analysis. I'll be back. Wow, take a look at what happened here on this red. It just exploded to 57.15 area, and again, so it bounced off the red, 2 times, 3 times. I was able to successfully hit the 4th, but I was nervous, and sure enough, look at it. It made now higher lows, and it powered right up there, doji twice, and then exploded. So I'm not much of a breakout trader, but I guess when you see these kind of things, and look, it broke, dojied, never came back. So if you were in a sell here and this powers up, when this comes back down, you better be getting out, or you better be tightening your stop, because this right here is going to kill you. So look at 30 to 50, that's 20 pips. You'd have been out at 20 pips if this went against you, and that's not bad. Now you're talking 180 pip loss. It's just blowing you out. So you got to be careful on those. So anyway, that's the pound. The euro, again, this broke below, but I didn't like it because of this long run. So I'm watching and waiting and seeing if there's any, solid setup. It's just not as clean. And the Swissy, look at the Swissy bouncing off. So this makes sense. The Swissy is struggling, and it goes down. The euro came down, struggling, it's going up, and the pound is going up, and now look, this thing's just gapping. So I don't know, might be done for the day, unless I'll watch for the London close for some setups, but just not the cleanest. I mean, again, in hindsight, it's easy to look at the pound and say, oh yeah, we should have bought this as a breakout. So lesson learned, but not the highest probability. I just don't like the breakouts as much. Alright, stand by. Okay, I'm just parking a trade on the euro right now to do a sell at 34.04. Hiding my stop loss above this next level. Let me zoom out just a bit. And here's what we got. We got a red level, okay, and we have a break of that level. I'm looking at the actual price, okay. So price support, support, support. Look at this, support, and then backbreaker. Down it goes. And what I find with an end of the session, price will swing so I can get a higher fill. And so I'm actually going to try to go a little bit higher, 34.04, and let's see what that sits. And then where do we take profit? We're going to take it at this next grid area and this trend line and all this excitement's going on in here. So let's see if we get in at 34.04. Take profit is 33.80. So that's about 15 or 20 pips. That's fair. It's good to take some off there. You don't want it to push too far. Again, until I hit my goal. So I'm going to take them both off in this area. Just again to bag my pips. Right now I'm sitting at 176. So this will pop me over 200. That's my goal. Hit 200 and I'll be good to go. So I'll keep watching. Okay, this is a quick market review for Wednesday, December 7th. There was some news throughout the morning. It was light at 9, 9:30, and then all the way down to 2 p.m. there was no news. So this is good trading. Nothing really affected the markets. And so here's what I saw. Well, here we had a red bounce, 56.30 on the Great Britain pound. Now, it was one touch, two touches, three touches. So this is the fourth one. Okay, let me zoom in now. And on this fourth touch, I didn't expect this to go a mile. So I took my 2 off because my goal, right, until I hit my 200 pips for the month, I'm taking it off right away. And then it broke down, session open, and I never really had a chance to move my stop. I mean, it just really powered up fast and took me out. I was trying to be, optimistic that this is going to continue lower. However, when you really analyze this in hindsight, look how it's bouncing off. It can't make new lows. It's just not going deeper. Chances are it's going to break up, and sure enough, look what it did. It came right back, stopped me out, dojied, and there was so much gas in the tank, this thing just exploded. So fine, I pulled off, 11, 12, and 1, basically. Then at London close, we had a class, and here it went up, it rejected this line, and it came right up to this cluster. And that was a big figure, 5,700. So I got in at 57.01. It slipped a little bit. Well, price starts closing above, and we got into trouble. So let me share this little rules that I put together right here. Rules of engagement for scaling out of a blown trade setup. So if you enter a buy order, as soon as price misbehaves, starts to close below your entry, remember a buy, you're trying to get it to go up. Alright, so if it starts to misbehave and starts to go against you, we're going to move the stop loss out of the way, wait for the surge against the trade to end. You're going to hide behind thermal grids. Now again, this is no news. If there's no news, you'll be fine. Price should just move up and move down, move up and move down. If it's around the news, you could get totally blown out and have no way to get out of this trade. So you got to stay away from the news as far as you can. Okay. Now, after you move the stop loss to new lows, lows of that surge where it went against you, do not let it make new lows beyond that initial surge. You just don't be confused. Don't think that everything is fine, because it's not. Number 3, move your take profit 1 and 2 below your entry price to begin scaling out of the trade to remove or reduce your risk. Step 4, continue to follow price up with your stop loss to further reduce your overall risk. Okay, practice this until you have your experience and slight variations of this perfected for you. Your goal is to have a total pip loss on a bad trade less than 30 pips. That would be an average of 10, 10, and 10, right? So if you had a losing trade of minus 30 pips, divided by 3 would be a 10 pip stop loss. That's great. The psychological game, you got to understand this. When you're in a buy, you must watch for sell setups. You got to get your brain focused that, you know what? Take in all the information. Don't be so hopelessly optimistic that it has to go your way. Your brain will actually block the painful information that the trade is going against you. It'll block it. It'll confuse you to be so hopeful that you'll just watch this and it'll trick you and you're just going to get blown out. So just because you're in a buy, you have to have rules of engagement that if it misbehaves, that you get out. Okay? So here's an example. This trade here I'm going to sell and it goes against me right away. It should go straight down, and when it doesn't, I start scaling out. I keep my stop loss out of the way. It surges against me, and when it starts coming down, I scale out. But look, when it starts to go back up again, I'm done. Take a minimal loss. Alright, I'm out of there. Let's go to the euro. Same thing on the euro. On the euro, price is moving along. It breaks through this level. It comes back up at the London close. It's near this level, so I sold it. Misbehaved. Powered up. And I ended up starting to scale out right away and got out at a -5 and -4, and then it just powered against me more to 13. I just, you know, could I have waited for this to go all the way through to here, cycle down? You know, yes, I could have maybe gotten a little better and look even, you know, profitable on that. So the rules are there. The key is to have them and follow them, and I didn't follow them to the best here on this trade, but I want you to learn this concept and take notes and start using this approach, because right now on my dashboard I'm 50% for the month. I've had 8 trades. I'm up 122 pips, but guess what? My average take profit 1 is 16 pips. My average stop loss is 8 pips. Okay, let me pull this in and share it with you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so look at this. I'm up 122 pips, 50% winners. My average take profit is 16. Let me zoom in a little bit there. 16. And my average stop loss is 8. That's fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. When I win more than I lose, and my goal is to be winning more than I'm losing. So the 50%, I was up as high as 80% winners. I had a great run there. Let me look. Look at, I had a winner, 1, 2, 3 winners, a loss, a winner, and then I had these 3 small losses in a row here. Okay, so 50%, but my percentages are good and my numbers are good. That's the key. See, trading, then you're not as nervous. That if you know how to scale out and keep your losses small, then I'm not afraid to trade. You get in, you know price goes up, and you know price goes down. You got the thermal grids, you have a plan, you have rules of engagement, and you stick to the rules of engagement. You'll keep your averages low. You use that take profit approach, you know, using smart money management. Take profit when it's there, and you're going to start perfecting this and continue to watch these videos. I'm trying to provide as much as I can so you can see live in the markets. Okay, so if the class, we did a Forex Trader Pro class the other day. It was great. We witnessed all this, but it's just a quick market review for you. Okay, so we had the euro, and then we had 2 trades on the pound. We had a winner on a bounce, and then this is just an explosion breakout. and kind of a London close, misbehaved a little bit. I mean, it eventually did come back. We could have been a little bit profitable, you see that? But it sure took its time. So you got to be careful. All right. So again, the key is losses are not a problem. Don't worry about your losses. The key is keep your losses smaller than your wins. So that's the biggest thing. You can't have a 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 pip blowouts when you lose. And then when you win, you only make 10 or 12 pips, so you're upside down. You're terrified. Oh, take 10 pips, 10 pips, 10 pips. But then you let it go against you 30, 60, 80 pips? No way. That's not going to work. All right? You can't do it. You got to flip that around. Stretch your winners out. Keep your losses small. Be smart, and you can be successful. Okay? See ya.